Ni hao, bonjour to the online world. So, today, perhaps because right now, seeing the global landscape in terms of tariff, anything and everything, a lot would be pumped into India as far as the products are concerned, because the custom laws in India, perhaps somehow, there's so much leaky pipeline right now. I remember way back at the time of I think I'll change my location. There's too much voice here. Okay, so the point of contention here is to discuss uh, loads of brand in terms of also the labeling part and stuff, and understand the consequences of what can happen right now given the landscape of what is happening in terms of misinformation. And perhaps it is very important to understand the trademarking aspects of the intellectual property rights. That being said, what is important here is I'm going to discuss about geographical indications, what perhaps 2025 and beyond is going to see a lot of patent applications being filed but not prosecuted. That being said, what is important is to understand the geographical indication, because a lot of crossbreeding has been done by utilizing the stuff, not even knowing that these stuff were passed on to other countries in terms of seeds and the other aspects. So I'll give one example, which is Ricola. This is a brand. Um, Perhaps it has a lot of intellectual property rights. So this is the brand Ricola. And I'll be discussing this in detail so that folks can understand how geographical indication itself can be utilized in the best possible manner. And we cannot allow, when we talk about a state, we cannot allow these trust or particular um, flock of trust to take this to the next level. Because when we are understanding geographical indication is something which grows particularly in that particular place, or something which is originating in terms of the artisans and the like. And India itself has a lot of geographical indication, but i i I utilize this because it has a lot of organic ingredients. So it is Swiss herbal sweets. So when we understand, or when we talk about Swiss, to my mind, obviously, I'm coming from a trademarking background. I come from intellectual property background. So the first thing which strikes my mind is something to do with the Switzerland or with the European Union. Now it contains, if I just see the labeling, it is done in a very beautiful manner in terms of an educated person, how the person is going to read the label. It's very important. Perhaps um, so they have this labeling here also. It's a small box, but there is so much of label everywhere. It states that FSC, um, which is mixed from responsible sources, and the FSC code in this particular case is C not 16368, and it says it's suitable for vegan. Carefully manufactured at Ricola Limited, Switzerland, 4242 Laufen, Switzerland. The web domain is, it's a .com domain. Let me tell you one thing. When all this .com bubble came into existence, somehow people felt just owning a .com is going to be the magic formula. Honestly, 2025 and beyond, .com doesn't hold any cognizance per se, because um, so much malfunctioning has been done, perhaps while booking those domains, or the domain holders themselves were not aware about what they were blocking in the www web. That being said, this is how the protocols have to work now, as far as the hashtag I2GCR is concerned. Um, so it has bold characters, which is very good. And then we have, it says the original sugar free, sweetened with stevia. That's what it's written. Um, Protect from heat and humidity. And it has a batch code number. The lot number is 31st day of May 2026, bearing the number 2055714. And then there's another labeling which is 9013244. GB is definitely United Kingdom / IE. Then on the face of it, we have the labeling which states that it has peppermint, elder, plantain, mellow, yayo, marshmallow, sag. And for ROI, the details are again provided very clearly. So it's not, it's a kind of, I would rather say, manufactured and have covered a lot of areas. In this particular case is Dublin. Ocean Healthcare Limited, Unit 6C, Nut Grove Office Park, Nut Grove Avenue, Rathfahan, Dublin 14, Ireland. And it is available at Go to Grocery, 41 Richmond Hill, Bournemouth, BH2 6HS. Then let's talk about, so how much IPR in this. I mean, the content inside is not that important, but the data set. This is what a real data or raw data is all about. It says that Ricola is great tasting, long lasting, mouth watering refreshment, sugar free with sweeteners, made with only natural flavors naturally. So they're claiming that. The secret behind Ricola's great taste is the magic blend of the 13 herbs naturally grown in the fresh, pure air of the beautiful and tranquility I just added, Swiss mountains, sweetened with stevia plant extract, steviol glycoside derived from the leaves of the stevia plant. Ingredients, let's read the ingredients. Is also written that this is made in a nut free environment. Sweetener, isomalt, isomalt, extract 1% of Ricola herb mixture. Now, this is what Trade Secret is all about. Um, Color, plain caramel, sweetener, steviol, glycoside, mint oil, peppermint oil, menthol. Excessive consumption may induce laxative effects. um, 10 sweets in 1 to 2 hours. Like when I had a bad throat, when the pollution level was high, particularly in New Delhi, so I used this and it was a good, I mean, at least it was able to treat that ailment. What I'm not suggesting you have to go to the doctor, please. You cannot avoid the doctors. I'm just here to talk about the intellectual property aspects, because again, these kind of stuff would be, induced in the market as falsy stuff, because now Diwali is around the corner, and during Diwali you get all these gift hampers. So a lot of chaos is there at this point of time, so be very careful as to what you are purchasing. um, then if I talk about the nutritional information, 100 grams, and then they have like one sweet they are taking as 2.5 grams. um, Energy kilocalories is so there's kilojoules also and the kilocalorie also. So 100 grams, like the energy is 237 kilocalories per sweet. It's 6 kilocalories. Fat of which saturates is 0 gram. Carbohydrates of which sugar and polyols. Um, so in this particular case, it is 2.5 grams, and polyols is 2.4, protein 0, salt 0. That's good. I mean, this is something which people can utilize. And then we have the, you can scan the barcode. I don't know if you would be able to scan it or not, but this is how it looks. So this is the first discussion as far the food labeling is concerned. Let's go to this particular entitled stuff, which is under the uh, Barbie. Like obviously it's a mini so stuff, and but the problem statement here is right now is like 2023 mantle. It's still it's just launched a few months back in India, and per se the Indian counterpart of this company is Miniso. Uh, I like one of these. Like in Hindi, I called it. This is called as like an airport kind of stuff, but I called it Tanpura. So this is not working. But they are like obviously you don't go to the consumer court for such small things, but the clarity has to be there when such companies. It's not a small company. So such companies, when they are uh, tying up with the Indian counterpart, they have to make sure that they are abiding the international laws, because as a candidate of consumption of consuming this in whatever way, because I support intellectual property rights, uh, it's very important that the applicable law is global, because such kind of brands should not be diluted, because we are paying excess because of the branding, because the way it has been branded, it has the Barbie label done very well. So this is one thing as a feedback. Then another thing, in this particular case, this one, although it is perhaps it has this Dublin and everything, the country of origin is United States of America. Next, let's go to the this particular brand based on United Kingdom. Dark chocolate coated nasal hut with cinnamon, the best dressed nut in town. Now, as far as India is concerned, the labelings are done in a manner where it is not legible to a common person. So it needs to be worked around. I mean, this is again dilution of the brand. The same branding has to, go around. We have to see the prints and everything. Now, in this particular case, please recycle me. If you just read it, it's not legible. I mean, This is what dilution is all about. All the states that manufactured at Bliss Chocolate India Private Limited, Bangalore, Karnataka, marketed by, I don't want to get into that. Then we have the emails and everything, but it needs a lot of work, even from the printing point of view. And if you have to see the sample as how to go about it, look into Ricola and then rebrand this. This needs rebranding right now. So yes, but the quality of this box, this is good. So this is recycling, circular economy, where you are utilizing this for whatever purpose. For me, obviously, for me it is what I am keeping is Nescafe 2 rupee sachet. Whenever I want to have, I have Wrigley's chewing gum. Um, when I'm drafting the stuff, I need to, because see, one thing is there, you have to work your um, neuronic stuff. For that, chewing gum, in terms of, obviously it is banned in Singapore, but the point here is when you're chewing the gum, there's a lot of exercise in terms of the neurons, and that is a good thing to take your neuron activity to the next level. So a lot of research which is done, it is done on a hypothesis, and perhaps that is one reason I never went for LLM in intellectual property rights, because when I saw the intellect of the folks globally, or when I saw these non-medical doctors, particularly in this particular field, they had no cognizance of the real world scenarios. And real world scenarios and the stakeholders, there is such a big gap. And that is what I have been focusing for last 1 decade, because after doing, I mean, spending so many working hours in intellectual property rights, I realized that there has to be done something and solve those massive problems of aggregating intellectual property rights in a proper pool manner. Because, firstly, when you understand India as a country, this trolling is never going to work, because although this cycle is being trying to be pushed forward by different operators, it's never going to work in India, because India has a very different mindset, and it is not a good thought process to change the mindset, but to work in collaboration, create the pools, and share the royalty on a longer basis. So there is something called as exclusivity, there's something called as perpetuity, there's something called as copyrights. And let me tell you, a faction of countries don't understand copyrights. And that is the reason trade secrets, smart contracts, DAOs have taken over anything and everything in terms of the intellectual rights of the folks, whether it's individuals, whether it's enterprise, whether it's countries, because zillion verses are being worked around right now. And the data feed it to all these www dots is being utilized to create their own, whatever um, dream world they are living in. But honestly speaking, this is the time when we talk about I2GC or hashtag, this is the time to embrace uh, the reality aspect. Otherwise, the hallucinated data set is going to fall play, which is being fall played right now. And that has to be stopped in all senses. Um, Thank you for watching out the video. Have a great day ahead. I just did a collab with one of the www dots, so let's look into that. Have a great day ahead.